Welcome to the Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour, the state's richest fishing event. We're located here in beautiful Walker, Minnesota on Leech Lake, where some of the Midwest's top bass anglers are going to kick off the 2001 Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour season. Hi folks, I'm Tommy Scarlett.
And I'm Chip Lear. Tommy, what a great place to start the 2001 season, Leech Lake. This possibly could be some of the biggest bass of the season. We're definitely on the biggest water.
Oh, and we're definitely talking about the biggest excitement because these anglers have waited all year long for this event, Chip.
Oh, then they are pumped up. Nerves were just a-shaking this morning at the start because this is the opportunity for these anglers to set the stage for the entire season, all leading up to the Tournament of Champions, Lake Minnetonka in September.
And this is your opportunity to find out what these anglers are using, how they're using it, where they're casting it to, and exactly what tactics are catching these big bass. We're going to take you right into the angler's boat, get you up close and personal to see for yourselves what's going on.
Big lake, big fish, and big bass. Stick with us on the Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour.
Stay tuned. The anglers make their predictions and tell their secrets. We'll share it all when we come back.
You're not taking that with you, are you? Watch this. Wow.
Excuse me? Do you have the time?
Lottery proceeds benefit our natural and economic environments. Don't forget to have some fun. Lottery proceeds benefit our natural and economic environments. Don't forget to have some fun.
AM 1130.
Hi, this is Captain Billy Hildebrand from Fan Outdoors.
Billy's always got some good advice.
I've learned a lot about fishing, for sure, and hunting. I enjoy the friendly banter going back and forth. I like listening when fishing's on, fishing's great. When hunting's on, hunting's great.
Join us Thursday evenings and Saturday mornings on your outdoor sports leader, KFAN.
Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour is sponsored by Fox Sportsnet North, KFAN, the Minnesota State Lottery, and Pepsi.
This is probably the best pro circuit that's come to Minnesota, at least in decades. Well, it's kind of nice having an amateur in this format in that you're fishing as a team rather than fishing against each other.
This is my first year fishing the Minnesota Bass Tour. What you learn as a co-angler is unbelievable. You fish with so many pros and so many different techniques, and if you watch and you're careful, you pick up a lot of good hints.
It's kind of nice in that I can have the amateur doing one type of tactic and I'm doing something else. Like I could be using a worm and he'll be using a topwater, and we can get double the effectiveness out of it rather than both of us trying to compete.
Leech Lake is just an outstanding fishery. It's, it's phenomenal.
There's some really huge bass in here, and it's just like fishing in the ocean. It's just so huge.
The size of the lake is tremendous, but there's just only certain areas that really have a lot of bass, and so fish is small, and it's good for everyone catches fish in this lake.
It's totally my kind of fishing. Real shallow water, rice, flipping jigs.
There's very few smallmouth. They claim there's a couple in the main lake. I've never caught them. We all fish for largemouth here. The center rice pile might be considered the #1 spot in the state because of its size for bass. It's immense. It's about a mile long by a quarter to half mile wide, and the bass are in there at sometimes, Al Linder once put it, there could be 1,000 bass in here at any time.
Rice is the main habitat for these bass here, and it's just not up, it's not growing. So what that does is put all the fish tight to the bank, and what that also does is put all the anglers on the bank.
We've been beating up the bank pretty hard in some bog and stuff, and we've found that there's a lot of fish under the bogs. Am I comfortable with where we're at for tomorrow? Yes and no. I think we'll be fine. I think we can scrap a limit out. I think it's just going to take a full tank of gas to do it. We're going to be all over the lake tomorrow.
We've got a big lake, some big fish, and a lot of big talk at this point, Tommy.
Well, the anglers should be talking big and feeling good, Chip, because last year, Leech Lake was the highest average of the Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour as far as weight was concerned, and it's shaping up to be about the same thing this year.
I mean, this is a big lake. We're talking about over 112,000 acres of fishable water, and this year it may even fish a little larger.
Well, and it's going to fish larger. In fact, 112,000, it might be 115, 120,000 with this high water that we're having, and that's changing things around quite a bit.
The fish aren't where they used to be. Normally these guys are used to finding them in the rice beds. They're having to dig up and search and find new little nooks and crannies to hold these monster fish.
And if they're looking for the rice, they're going to have to look deeper and harder to find those little pockets, cups, points, and weedy spots that actually are going to hold those fish in the rice this year.
So let's get out on Leech Lake and see where the anglers are finding those fish this year.
We're up here on beautiful Leech Lake. It's one of my favorite lakes to fish. It's just a beautiful body of water. Fish have just kind of moved in the last week. Some are on bed, some are done spawning. We fished bog this morning, flipping the bog with jigs and Berkeley power frogs, and we got our limit by about 9:30. As the day goes on and the lake warms up, more and more fish move in. We're just going to try to catch some bigger fish that I found on beds, but they're really hard to catch. I'm not a very good bed fisherman. I really don't have the patience for it, but we're going to try it anyway.
Yeah, baby.
Good job, dude.
Yay!
Oh yeah, that's a dandy. He'll help us.
Tour pro John Crane has decided to concentrate his efforts on the wild rice beds of Leech Lake. We're on one of the largest beds in the lake on the east side. There's lots of ways to go about finding a needle in a haystack, but John's got his special presentations.
We're going shallow here today, and all the bass, are in 4 to 6 feet of water or less. There is none deep, and we haven't had an algae bloom yet. So the water's clear, a little bit spooky. It's spring, the water's cold yet. It must be in the lower 60s, about 60, 62. So we're throwing weightless plastics, and I'm able to throw this as far as I can without a sinker or a weight. It's a 5/0 Diachi hook, a 10-inch power worm. We're going for big fish. These fish are 3 to 5 pounds. You're going to have 8 of those ones. The 1 and 2 pounders don't count. We're using soft plastics. Some of the other things we're doing, when we find some holes, we're flipping right in there. I've got a jungle jig, Berkeley Power Craw. This is 3/8 ounce, real weedless. Simply toss it into the hole, give it a quick little pump up and down like a crawdad, and you reel it in and pitch to the next hole. We're taking short casts with these guys.
I've fished Leech Lake quite a bit. I love the lake, and up until last year, I might have fished for 2 hours on this lake for bass. I was pleasantly surprised on the size and numbers of fish. The larger fish don't seem to be here. I've been catching quite a few of the males. So I think I'm going to have to make an adjustment here and see if I can find some females. Kind of a confidence bait for me. Noodle worm by Berkeley. And I just find it very versatile. I can skip it, I can use it in 5 to 8 foot water and let it drop slow and jerk it.
We were here pre-fishing this last weekend and along this stretch of shoreline, and I couldn't catch anything under 4.5 pounds.
What we're doing is we're floating along the edges of these old rice fields and stuff, and we're finding the pockets. You see a pocket in there, and we pitch into those pockets, and that's where the fish have been sitting for us. Right now we've got five real nice fish and a couple of small ones. Hoping we can get another one of them nice fish, make it a good day all around.
Fish!
It's a keeper.
Yes!
Number 8.
I'm pretty happy the way it's went today. First time out. as the pro, able to catch some fish. I caught some, my amateurs caught some.
This is real shallow. You need to watch your line carefully, use your fluke, and just watch every twitch, okay? Fish on. Nice. Keep them up. You better talk to me. Way to go. Cool. Okay, do we need to measure?
Oh, did you see that? There was Pro Troy Dolmy. You just saw him catch 2 fish back to back within 2 minutes. He's got 4 fish now, 2 over 4, one's 3. The one you saw at the first end of this was just a keeper, but he'll take it. He's halfway to the limit. Let's see if he can get some more.
And we're just shaking it out there. Let it sit on the bottom and just shake it. Hopefully the big old girl will come after it.
Coming up, we take a trip into Walker and then head back out to the water for some amazing bass fishing. You will not want to miss this. The Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour is sponsored by Ranger Boats, Star Tribune, Starcraft Pontoons, and Friendly Chevrolet.
Walker is a great place to bring your family. We've been up here twice in the last month and really enjoyed ourselves. We're here today for the ProAm Bass Fishing Tournament. We've stayed at 2 different resorts, and the resorts are great. The people have been just wonderful around here, and we're definitely going to come back to Walker again.
I believe that Jerry needs 18.19 to take the lead and the Tournament of Champions for 2000, the Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour. It's between one of these 2 gentlemen. Who's going to get it?
We're going to crown a leader or winner here.
1935!
Jerry Curtis,
Jerry
you
Curtis!
have won. Here's your trophy.
Hold it up, big
You're
boy.
the year
Hold it
2000
up.
Tournament of Champions champion.
There's a little more pressure on me now than a year ago. I'm just going to go fishing and do my best to do what I can do, and hope I have another good year.
There's a good fish.
I'm feeling pretty good coming into this tournament. I had a good practice day yesterday. Last weekend was a little slow, but some of the bigger fish are coming through for me today.
2 at a time!
I love the competition. I love going out and trying to figure out the fish and trying to figure out what's going on. You know, all the guys out there that have been out there for so long and done so well, and just go out there and try to beat them. That's just drives me to go out there and just to find fish and beat these guys.
I really want to do well. I guess I am putting a little pressure on myself. I'd like to have a great start like I did last year. I made it a lot easier to fish the other tournaments.
Every tournament is important, and it doesn't matter where it's at or what it is. Every one means a lot because you're fishing for points, and that's the whole thing. You got to make points. If you get a taste of winning and what it's like, you just always want to win.
We're here watching Pro Mike Novak. He just put his 2nd fish of the day in the box. Mike's working the bank a little bit different. Most of the other pros are using power baits, slugs, and they're fishing tight to the bank. He's working out farther away. He's using a stick bait or a Rapala Husky jerk, and it's working out pretty good for him.
This fish is what caught on the jerk bait this morning, or actually about 2.5 hours ago, and this is the caliber of fish I've been catching all week, you know. And even a little bit bigger than that, you know, 4.5 pounds is the biggest, but you know, we're just going to keep plugging away and hope for the best.
Using a little Northland tackle spinnerbait this morning with a hammer coppered blade, single spin, put a little twister, a little 2-inch twister on the back end, just a little more action to attract those fish. The water, this color seems to go good in this type of water color.
Basically today what we did, we started off in a little smaller bay. There's some smaller fish in there. What these fish are doing right now, they're moving up and they're starting to bed. So we started in a spot where they're already on beds. First cast of the day, I caught a 4-pounder. Worked the area, we caught some good fish in there, worked that for a while. Made the long run into Boy Bay. One thing about this bay, it's notorious for big fish. Our goal right now is try to get 1 or 2 more big ones. If we can get 1 more 4 or 5 pounder, I think we're looking really good right now.
I have a pretty good idea that the fish are on cattails with a little bit firmer bottom. If you look out here, you'll see cattails that usually grow in mud.
You got one?
Fish, no way. Say hi.
Leech Lake has a tremendous population of largemouth, and the males are quite big. And when we come along a bed and we see that, we'll flip a tube in and catch them. But it's not the majority of our catch, but hit the net. Easy, easy. Come on, fish, stay on. Get him. Get that fish. Yeah, baby. Woo! Come back and got him. Come back and got him. Hallelujah. Look at the hog. Look at the hog bass. Give me a break, Jiminy Cricket. Oh, and he got it so good. That's what we're talking about. A beautiful big Leech Lake largemouth bass. Got it. You never give up. Just because you lose a fish, you never can give up. You got to go back. Get us out of this mess. I'm too excited. I got to calm down. Okay, I got to calm down.
One little 12-inch is really helping the confidence out a little bit. It's not the type of fish that are in this lake, so we're gonna have to catch some bigger fish to get her going. We had one fish on this beaver house here, so beaver area, and we're gonna see if we can get her back out of there or not. We let her go and practice, and we'll see what happens here. Should probably head up to the next bay where we had those fish in the rice. Let's
do it.
We had some fish in some rice that were bedding up, and we're gonna see if maybe they're still there, if nobody else got on them while we're pre-fishing. So this whole game here is shallow water fishing, and the name of the game is get lucky and not having somebody else find your fish during practice.
We've been fishing rice and some undercut banks. With the undercut banks, we're just using a standard Texas rig power worm. We got 6 fish in the box, and had one that we lost that was pretty decent. A couple small ones. They haven't been coming very fast though, so we're just gonna keep chugging along here and try to get 2 more to make the limit.
When we come back, a behind-the-scenes look at tournament fishing, and then it's time to hit the scales. We'll find out who walks away the big winner.
News, free time, travel, home zone, cars.com, work avenue, shopping, and communities. StarTribune.com. See what you can do.
Take it in, take it in.
Isn't your son on the team?
Yeah, starting center.
My daughter's a cheerleader. She's the third one from the left.
She's pretty light on her feet for a fat girl. To the yes!
The Last Word with Jim Rome. The only sports commentary that's truly brutally honest. Weeknights at 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
The Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour is sponsored by Media Rare, Minnesota Office of Tourism, and Yamaha Motor Corporation.
Well, one of the things about the Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour that makes it so successful is the fact that we release all of the fish that we catch. Probably 99% of the bass that come to our scales are alive. And when we send them back to the lake, they're probably in better shape than when they got there, because we incorporate state-of-the-art equipment to make sure that those fish are well taken care of from the time they leave the boat until the time they go back in the water. We put the fish in baskets that are perforated, that go into tanks where the water is circulated constantly and also aerated. And by the time those fish get to the scales, they're feisty, they're ready to go. They want to go back in the water and swim away. But we don't let them do that. We actually take them to a large pontoon boat where we put them into this big, huge live release tank, and we actually take them back out and put them where they were caught.
I would be surprised if 25 pounds did not come in.
To take to win the tournament, last year was what, 29 pounds? I'm gonna guess probably around 29, 30 pounds to win the tournament.
Good afternoon, Walker, Minnesota, and welcome to the Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour. Look at those fish. How about a round of applause for those two hefty bookends?
The fish are in a lot different stage than they were last year, but we managed to put together a pretty good bag of fish.
22.46 pounds. That's second place right now. And then you would be there with 24.02, but that's got to feel pretty good.
It was a great day today. We made the right calls. I had 2 spots. We first basically went looking for bedding fish. We caught those. And we just went on and started flipping bog and had a great day. Then I saw you guys coming on over, and I told my partner, I said, you better put on a show. And boom, he hit about a 4-pounder. So it was a good day.
We're going to weigh these fish on the
This
scale.
is a bucket. They must have all 8 in there, right?
Holy cow.
24.60 pounds.
We've got a new big bass leader at 504. The records are falling like 29-cent pair of socks around here, Chipper. And he flips it at 5.86.
Give me 5, John. You got big fish right now. That's awesome.
You just laid the existing big fish of the tournament to rest with about 0.80 pounds, almost a 4-pound bigger. And there is almost a 6-pound fish, folks. Let's hear a big round of applause for your big fish leader.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Holy cow,
these folks have a bag of bass.
This is going to be a good one right here. The weighmaster, Mark Horks, over here going, grunting as he lifts those fish. Let's see what it rolls. Your new leader at 26.77 pounds. Whoa.
I'm speechless.
Well, Chip, why don't you move over there? Those fish are scaring me.
You people might want to come up here and take a good close look at some of these fish. Look at the size of those bass.
27.29 pounds. There's your new leaders of the tournament.
Good job, guys.
And we bypassed all the little ones. We just went for the big ones, and we never got the real big bite. Now, Brad's got a big one. That might be the difference right here, but those are some nice fish. We'll take them any day.
Fellas, this is getting pretty dramatic. Right now, you have got to beat, and this is unofficially for the win, 27.29 pounds to win the tournament. What are you feeling right now, Brad?
I'm feeling like I really need you to weigh these fish.
You're going to need 27.29 pounds to win the tournament. 25.30, there's your champion. Here are your 2001 Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour champions of Leech Lake.
Well, it was great to win one of these Pro-Ams.
been a long time. I've been fishing these for 5 years. I had a second one time, and these guys are tough, and it's always a thrill to win a tournament. But one of the techniques we use here on Leech Lake, and I used today, we caught some of our fish pitching a Northland jig with Berkeley Power Craw on 30-pound fire line. Nothing special. A lot of guys do that, and we were pitching the reeds and the cane. We caught some nice fish to start the day with that technique. Works good on these lakes where got a lot of big fish shallow, and that's what one of the keys was today.
What a great start to the 2001 Bass Tour, Tom. Oh, I tell you what, here on Leech Lake, conditions were tough. The water was a little high. It was tough to find the prevalent pattern, which is the rice, still underneath the water. But these anglers were able to find enough fish to weigh some big baskets here at this event. In fact, it's a real tribute to the veteran anglers who did end up on top. Brad Leiperman, 25.3 pounds. Doug Copeland pulls in with 26.7 pounds. And what about our winners? Oh, the big story. Jim Murthan and his amateur partner, Mike Bruno, truly worked together as a team to weigh 27.29 pounds and come out on top for the first event at the Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour here on lovely Leech Lake. But you just wait, because the baskets are going to get bigger and the competition's going to get stiffer on the whitefish chain, our next event for the Minnesota ProAm Bass Tour.